get nervous when they're like thinking about what point they're gonna take. I can feel the tension when they get up on stage, and you guys feed on that, and it's always really good. So with that in mind, let me tell you what happened about an hour ago. We had 2 amazing fighters slated for the design fight. You all may know Brian Sullivan, who's at Sabre and runs design for Sabre, and he also founded the big design conference. See, he's not here. His son went into the hospital an hour ago with appendicitis. I know, it's awful. And so it's the first time we've been without a fighter. Like, crap, what do we do? So we had someone, we reached out. There's a lot of folks that really know design, and somebody stepped up. So the first fighter that we're gonna have for the design conference, the design fight, didn't even know he was fighting until about an hour ago. So you guys, don't cut him slack, but just know that going in, okay? His name is Jared. I don't even know his last name. What's Jared's last name? Zogby. Jared Zogby. He runs design for Accenture Interactive. He stepped up and said, I'll do it, okay? So without further ado, please give a warm welcome. Oh, you know what? I want the Accenture to walk across the stage with the fight announcement. Fight number 3. Yeah. And you know what, guys? You can play Brian Sullivan's intro music. He's good. I have no idea what it is, but please give a warm welcome for Jared.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
And on top of that, at the fighter reception beforehand, he got to meet his opponent, and they got to talk and make sure they're actually on the opposite sides of the fight, which is always a good thing. Wait a minute, that was the point I was going to make. We don't want that happening, but he's fighting a gentleman named James Helms, who happens to run design for Intuit, that little company you may have heard of, okay? And before Intuit, James was at Bottle Rocket, so he's got the awesome pedigree as well. So without further ado, please give a warm welcome to James Helms.
Make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make us stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer.
So what are they gonna fight about? There's an interesting topic talked about in the Accenture Designs book, which is, with the technology cycle as fast as it is these days, is design suffering? Can you make good design, so to speak, really fast or not? That's what the fight's about. Who wants to go first?
Well, Jared wrote the book.
Then you can go first. James.
Ladies and gentlemen, speed is so sexy, but it's a trap. Just ask your best employees. Hey, I know you're super smart, and I know you're super jazzed, and I know you're super talented. Could you just do it faster? Ask your customers. When you go really, really fast, and you get tunnel vision, and all the stuff that's interesting, that gives you texture, that gives you insight, you have to speed past because it's due tomorrow. Or ask your business, because your employees are quitting because you keep asking them to go fast, and your customers aren't coming because you're not making something that they care about, because you're going really fast. But you know what? It's so sexy to think about the fact that we could make the same thing we're making now in half the time.
And
Wouldn't that
time.
be great?
45 seconds, yours. Jared.
Yeah, so when I look at this from a very myopic and overly simplistic view, I do agree with James. But I watched the market over the last 5 to 10 years, how many times designers were like, please pay attention to the stuff I do. And it was actually the speed of this stuff. C-suite executives, boardrooms saying, holy crap, I can touch and feel something? I didn't know I could do that. That really helped drive the design business. So when you look at the longer term view, one, it's actually helped a ton. Plus two, let's be honest, the portfolio of what designers get to work with today with things like AR and VR has actually helped them and in fact increased the need for them. So I think in a longer term view, it's bullshit, so.
And time. 30 seconds, rebuttal, James.
Hey, I'm all for making stuff. I want to make things every day. I think that, quite honestly, the road to thinking and the road to really, really great ideas is to be curious, to make stuff, to fail fast. I just think that when leaders look at their best employees and say, can you do it tomorrow? you really get not the best effort, and quite honestly, it's super demotivating for people to work that are framed in speed as the only lever.
30 seconds, Jared.
I gotta wipe my tear real quick, and if I had time, I'd give him a hug. The truth is that designers are usually at the forefront of disruption, right? That's what we bring them in for. Like, my world's getting disrupted, help me reinvent something. So I find it a little disingenuous that designers would then say, I'm being disrupted, please don't change things on me, when in fact it really is that the way we look at design, the way we communicate it, the way we teach people how to use it is really what needs to change, not so much that things have to stay the same.
All right. Our first question is going to be asked by Jen.
All right. So talk to me about creativity, because I think that's actually super important in the process. As you think through technology, how does it actually help you break through versus just optimize? Because let me tell you, nobody remembers second place.
James, I'm going to let you go first.
This is such a great argument for not going fast. Slow down and think about the outliers, not just the things that are right down the middle of, well, 95% of people did this. What about the one person that's out here using your product in a completely new and different way? If we slow down and we pay attention to the things that don't fit what we thought they were going to do, we can actually really be inspired by different ways that we can innovate.
And time. Jared.
So I would be one of the first ones to agree, racing through service design would be a horrible decision. I'm simply saying that technology, when you look at the longer spectrum, has actually improved because we do know when something sucks. As companies, we all recognize that now. I would argue that creativity is literally being driven by the fact that too many companies went and did technology facelifts on an old crappy service model and now realize they got a reinvention, and that is really where creativity comes. Not just from the content or a little bit of design changes, but really reinvent a way that we service our customers.
And time. All right, nicely done, both of you. Next question, who's got one? Come on, Revs. Oh, we know who our backup is. It's going to be Rowie. Oh, Grant?
We'll give him a break. In design, though, which is the chicken and which is the egg? Because is the consumer and their change in desire changing the design? And frankly, how quickly do you need to move to stay up with the changing needs of the consumer?
Jared, I'm going to let you go first.
Holy crap. I'm already losing time. Could not agree. I actually think the customer always comes first. And that's usually where companies actually succeed. When you focus on developing services for the customer and letting design reinvent around it, you're generally not going to fail because that's what's driving your business at the end of the day. So I would say it's always customer first. Sorry.
No? I was just mumbling to myself. Sorry. That was definitely inappropriate on my part. James.
There is no chicken. There is no egg. We get customer insights all the time by spending time learning from the people that we're building for, and we come up with all kinds of interesting ideas that technology inspires new ways that people could never dream of. So it's going back and forth between what people want and what they wish they had and what new technologies unlock for them. You can't put one over the other.
And time. I will tell you, when you're up here, you feel the energy of the fight and the energy of you guys in the audience, and you don't generally be able to listen to what they say, and it's really hard to predict who wins. And in this case, I have no idea who's going to win, okay? So that was well fought. Jeevan, please open up the voting. Seriously, that was really well fought. I have no idea. This is James. This is James. This is Jared or Brian, okay? This is Brian. Oh, they got it changed it. Are we on the fly? We changed our design on the fly. Last name in there. All right, Jeevan, whenever you're ready. And Jared's the winner.
All I do is win.